You ready to give these fans what they paid for? The other team's already worried about stopping you, MP.
Up next, the Jazz taking on the Bulls. For the Utah Jazz, every game presents another chance to improve and refine their brand of basketball. They want to win each half, each quarter, each minute, each possession. Bulls, Jazz, up next. It's live coverage of the NBA on Monday night. Thank you for joining us here on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, joined at the broadcast table by Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And as always, we'll hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. And a chance now to take a look at the schedule for the Chicago Bulls. On Wednesday, they'll face off against Anthony Davis and the Dallas Mavericks. Then on Thursday, they'll be matching up against Mike Conley and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
And looking at the Cavs matchup, that's one that stands out to me. A lot of great talent involved in that one, and I'm curious to see how they improved over the offseason.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, the guard pair, it's George and Sexton. The pairing up front, it'll be Collins and Kessler. And it's Sensabaugh in at the three, the small forward. And for Chicago, the guard set is Giddey and White. MP out there with Collins, and it's Herter in at the small forward. Here we are, Greg, looking at early returns from these teams. It's pretty revealing.
Yeah, the first few games of the season quickly tell you what you're good at, and they tell you also what you need to work on.
Outside Collins. Fires the three. It's hauled in by MP. Collins, a screen on George. The drive by MP.
Well, MP sensed his opportunity and did not hold back on the drive.
The Jazz on offense. They're moving on after the tough loss they took at the hands of the Nuggets.
Yeah, what we saw in that game and what you see around the league is a questionable dependency on the triple.
That shot, the three, is very volatile. On games when it's falling, you can beat anyone, but when you're leaning on it and you go cold, tough sledding.
The Jazz shooting their first free throws of the game on this trip to the line.
And one of the highlights last year for this group was the fact that they were so efficient from the charity stripe. That's a huge factor.
And he knocks down the first one. And an unfortunate trend for the Utah Jazz stand the past couple seasons, losing the battle of possessions.
Yeah, Kevin, and that's hard to overcome. When you turn the ball over at a high rate, and then at the other end, you don't force any turnovers, you're losing that possession game all the time. Now, fortunately, they rebound the ball well, and that helps a little, but it doesn't totally solve the problem. Great example there of the way MP's game around the rim continues to grow and develop.
Sexton on the wing, White covering, and George kicks to Collins. Knocks down the three ball.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from three. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Pass to MP. And here in the first, closing in on 2 minutes play.
Punching it in on the drive. MP doesn't mess around when he's got a lane to the rim.
Utah has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Now, here is George. 8 points his last outing. Here's Sensabaugh. He's defended by Herter. Shots good by Sensabaugh.
Well, when you have a scorer as skilled as he is, you do everything you can to get him the looks he needs.
MP passes to White. MP sets the screen for White, and the shot goes down.
Well, this offense is off to an outstanding start. They're communicating, executing, and finding great shots.
Here's Sensabaugh. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Denver. And it's Chicago with the rebound. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck. Helps to get points off the bench when you're on the road.
Well, when you can build your lead with the second unit on the floor, that makes the game a heck of a lot easier.
Herter passes to MP. 5 on the clock. The tray. It's hauled in by George.
Well, there you have it. Their first miss of the game, but still off to a solid start here in terms of shooting.
Here's Sexton. Collins with some nice D. The Bulls have gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. And MP throws it down.
Well, young guys rarely hesitate to throw it down when they can. MP is no exception.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. And the short break in the action gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, I got a few minutes with Billy Donovan. Now, I asked Coach about the defensive game plan tonight, and he said preventing easy buckets around the rim, and that starts with John Collins. He's a great interior scorer, especially when he gets ahead of steam, so you have to limit those opportunities. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, David. MP sets the screen for Herter. Bangs home the trifecta.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
And so Sexton will bring it up for Utah. 6-point game. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season. Another miss by Utah.
Well, you like the competitive mindset there, trying to answer right back. It just didn't fall.
And the basket by MP.
How about 5 of 6 to start? Looks like he brought his A game.
And Will Hardy is called timeout. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. Hey, Coach, one area the Bulls can struggle with, defending the outside shot.
Yeah, Kevin, they've been very poor the last few seasons on that front. Not closing out, missing assignments. It's strange because they were once elite in that regard under Donovan.
He's been on fire lately. Let's take a look at your Eastern Conference Player of the Week, MP.
And the nature of big men in the league has evolved, and he's a perfect example of how valuable a guy like this can be on your team. He's had a tremendous stretch of basketball here lately.
Here's Sexton. Scoreless thus far. Pass to George. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. The Bulls leading by 8. MP looking around. Collins with it. Back to MP. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Lets it go from deep. And it's Utah with the rebound. Here's Sensabaugh. Pass to Collins. Kessler with it. Lobbed up there for Collins.
George keeping those eyes alert.
For Chicago, they've gone 7 of 9 from the field. A really nice start offensively for them. Herter with a screen on Collins. MP. Kessler with the rebound. Jazz trail by 6. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure. Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Collins setting the pick for MP. Buries the long-range jumper. MP's got 13 points.
Yeah, this quarter's all about him. He's just dominating at the offensive end.
George with the ball. Still yet to score. Collins a screen on Herter. Outside Collins. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
Well, what a quarter he's had. You can tell he's in the flow. They should be looking for him every possession.
Here's MP. Back to Giddey. And here is MP. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Brooklyn.
Well, even though he hasn't been in the league a long time, MP knows exactly where to get his points.
Jazz trail by 8. Outside, Sexton. Pass to Sensabaugh. Back to Collins. From past the arc. It's rebounded by Herter. Here's Chicago. They're on a 16-7 run. Now, here's Collins. MP left side. Chicago needs to get off a shot here. And it's White missing. Utah has gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. Pass to Sensabaugh. Collins a screen on Collins. Hits it from three-point range. 7 points in the game.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look from there.
Here's Sensabaugh. He's got 7, and that one is good. The Bulls leading by 3. Giddey with it. He's picked up by Collins. MP outside. Herter with a screen on George. A 3 from MP. And he's good on the 3-ball. MP's got 18 points.
Well, they just need to keep getting him the ball. He has been terrific this quarter.
Pass to Sensabaugh. Now Kessler. Sexton with it. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
Well, defense got lucky there. More often than not, he's making that shot.
2 points. That one goes. And now an 8-point Bulls lead.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
To the inside. Stolen by Collins. Here's Herter. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Back to George. Here's Sensible. He's got 9. Here's the screen. And nothing is falling for him right now.
And they've come out with a take-no-prisoners approach on the glass here tonight, guys.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Bulls shooting their first free throws of the night right here.
And last season, as a team, they knocked down 79% of their free throws. So those are numbers you'll be happy with.
And the first one drops. You know, Greg, thinking back to the glory days in Utah, they went to back-to-back finals in 97 and 98.
Unfortunately, though, Kevin, that Stockton-Malone era, they just couldn't overcome the dynastic Bulls. The Jazz still searching for that first NBA title.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Bruce Ellis is checked in for Kevin Huerter. And Trey Jones subbed in for Josh Giddey.
A team player through and through. Get open, and Sexton will send the ball your way.
MP against Martin. Kicks it out to Jones. For the 3. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
And every year, we're seeing Jones take more threes. He barely took any his first 2 seasons.
Pass to Sensible. Always going up for the alley-oop here. And finished off by Martin.
And hard to decide which was better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Oh, there's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop. Now, here's MP. 20 points for him. Six to shoot. Pass to Buzelis. And here is MP. And a miss there on the triple.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
And finished off by Martin.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with the pass.
40 seconds left in the first. MP inside. Covered by Martin. MP from deep three-point land. Rebounded by the Jazz.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And it goes down 2 points.
Well, look, he's struggled so far, but maybe that basket is all he needs to get going.
MP against Martin. Pass to Buzelis. MP with it. Three-pointer. Another miss by MP. Sexton dishes to Clarkson. Top of the key. And that one released in time, but no good. MP has been leading the charge for the Bulls. Going on an absolute rampage, piling in the points. He dictated the pace of the entire quarter. We've got... And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway... Bulls, what do you guys think?
Hey, why take jump shots when you can get your points at the rim?
Yeah, they've made a point to get inside on this defense, and it's been working like a charm early on.
They've got Jones. Buzelis out there with MP. Then it's Jalen Smith. And it's Dosunmu in at the shooting guard position. That's the Bulls 5 as we get into the second quarter. Here's Clarkson. Lays it up and banks it in. Clarkson's got his first bucket of the night.
Well, looking for that point-blank opportunity. Clarkson wanted the highest percentage shot possible.
On the wing, MP. Covered by Martin. And joining us now by phone is insider Shams Charania with some news. Shams, give it to us.
Thanks. Many consider this summer to be the most challenging field in the history of international basketball. Nevertheless, Team USA got it done in Paris. It's not getting any easier, but the star power of the U.S. men's team shined bright in the City of Lights. Guys, a classic ending for a stacked U.S. roster.
You're right. What a performance. Hey, Shams Charania with the report. Thanks, Shams. Jones against Clarkson. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Clarkson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
I love the offensive execution on that possession.
Floats it up for MP, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it.
Jazz ball.
Now here, the 2K leaderboard with last season's top rebounding teams. In third, the Jazz.
It was really an impressive campaign for their bigs. And honestly, I think the whole team did a great job of getting bodies on bodies and controlling that defensive backboard.
Jazz trail by 5. Clarkson right side. And Jones sends it back. And he gets it back. And here's MP. He'll bring it up for the Bulls. They've held a 12-point lead early. That one drops for him.
Well, he's been very reliable tonight. Not wasting any chances. Really using his head.
Pass to Hendricks. Here's Sensabaugh. Banked in off the glass. Sensabaugh's got 11 points.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. What you got for us, DA?
Hey, Kevin, Bulls coach Billy Donovan, his perspective. He says, I used to come back from a tough road loss, go straight to the office and pull an all-nighter, trying to figure out what went wrong. My highs were too high and my lows were too low. You have to realize so much of it is just luck, the breaks of life. Kevin?
That's right, DA. We respect Billy Donovan as much as any coach in the NBA. But a good outlook there, you're right. Hey, thank you.
Well, he can play the 4 because he gets off the ground so well.
On the wing, MP. MP, the triple is down the hinge.
He's going to force them to have to make adjustments. That's number 4 in terms of triples in the half.
Pass to Sensabaugh. Cutting the screen from deep. The rebound by Dosunmu.
Defensive breakdown there, and they got lucky. He's not going to miss too many of those.
And that one drops.
Man, just adding insult to injury. He just waltzes inside and extends this lead.
Well, it's not going to get any easier if they can't improve their defensive intensity. They got to show some fight.
Sensabaugh misses from short range.
You got to finish at the rim right there. You hate seeing those opportunities go to waste.
A rebound by the Jazz. Sensabaugh's got 4 rebounds in this game. Martin with it. And it's Buzelis picking him up. Great open look there. Clarkson's got 7 points for the quarter.
Well, it took him a while to get his legs under him. He didn't do much in the first quarter, but now he's off and running.
And here's MP for 3. Rebound, Utah. Pass to Sensabaugh. Now Clarkson trying to find Martin. He's got it now. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Well, this coaching staff loves to see Clarkson passing. He's developed that portion of his game.
MP, no good. Jazz trail by 6. Inside. He goes up again. And it's Martin missing. Chicago's gone 2 of 4 from 3-point range so far in the second quarter. MP, no good. Utah's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Jazz passing it around. Clarkson looking for an opening. It's up a 3. And it's MP with the rebound. MP's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Screen by Smith. MP going in strong. It's good. MVP's got 35. In the game.
Well, he's been in total control offensively, and the defense has had no answers.
Pass to Hendricks. Back to Clarkson. No good with the layup.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
And that one, good. And now a 10-point Bulls lead.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high-percentage looks from inside.
Pass to Sensabaugh. From downtown, Chicago grabs the miss.
Well, you can't question his confidence from out there, but it's not false. Maybe time for a different approach.
And that one's good. MP.
And this is why you got to be all up in MP's airspace, even as the pass is coming his way.
You know, Stan. I've always thought that your path, kind of like Billy Donovan's, going from the college game to the pro game, both enjoying success, very, very similar paths.
Except for one thing, Kevin, Billy could actually play. I couldn't. So, you know,
well, you're not being fair.
Get him, MP. Your time.
Sexton against White. Now, here's Sexton. Guarded closer. He makes that one drop only a second in 5 tries.
You know, you got to respect Sexton's scoring ability. The closer he gets inside, the more effective he is.
Out to White. Back to MP. And there's the drive. And the rejection by Collins. One-on-one fast break. Here's Sensabaugh. It's rebounded by Herter.
Just a solid performance.
on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Giddy the pass to Herter. Herter with a screen on Collins. MP, no good. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Utah. Down by 15. Here's Sexton. That's good for his third bucket. Now 3 for 6 from the field.
Yeah, he's picking it up here in the second quarter after a slow start.
Pass to MP. That's good. And so Giddy with the assist. MP's got 43 points. Jazz trail by 16. Here's Sensabaugh. Sexton on the wing. Outside Collins. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Collins has got 11 points.
He must have been feeling it. The opposition hit one, and Collins wanted it back.
MP, that's for 2. Inside, MP gets it.
Well, this could be one of those nights where there's just nothing you can do to slow him down.
Pass to Sensabaugh. Back to George. Down low. It's tipped. And here comes one. Leading the fast break. MP against Collins. And the dunk by MP.
Well, the way MP runs screen and roll, you think he's been in this league for over a decade.
Now George. No scoring in this one. Collins a screen on Herter. Here's Sensabaugh. It's hauled in by MP. MP's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
Well, they desperately need him to get going offensively. He's got to refocus and just start taking better shots.
To the paint, here's Collins. Pass to Kessler. Back to Collins. Pulls up from the corner. Collins grabs the miss.
And that's one he wants back, just wide open, but not able to connect that time.
And the dunk by MP.
Well, when you move the ball, you open up the defense. Great job to make the unselfish play.
Outside Collins. Launches a 3. And it goes out of bounds. That one off Kessler. And that kind of stifling effort on defense needs another look.
And that has got to help the morale of this team. Let's see if that sets up a run here.
Chicago leading by 19. MP outside. 1:12 left to play here in the second quarter. And another one that gives him 51.
Making it look easy.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. Utah shooting with 42% accuracy in the second quarter. Collins wide open. He fires. The shot's good on the assist by George. Collins has got 6 points in the quarter. Giddy the pass to MP. Fires for 3. The shot missing. Jazz trail by 18. There's 37 seconds left in the first half of the game. Nice ball movement by Utah. 5 to shoot. And here's Collins from outside. It's rebounded by Giddey. Chicago has gone an even 50% from three-point range in the second quarter. 4 for 8. MP right outside. Collins grabs the miss. George against Giddey. Fires the 3. And here's Collins from outside. That shot no good. And so it's the Chicago Bulls with an 18-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. The three-point shooting has come fast and furious to the tune of what has become a big-time blowout in progress. And don't go away. We'll be right back.
Since we got a little time on our hands here, you guys got any big plans for tonight?
Not me. I'm just going to take it easy. I'm pretty worn out.
Yeah, you... And let's move on now to that first half. Obviously, a lot of work to do for the Utah Jazz.
Their opponent is...
And that about wraps it up. And as the third quarter...
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. You look at MP in this one, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, and early on, he has been feasting in the paint, and you have to think they're going to keep feeding the big fella.
That's certainly what I'd do. Until the defense shows they can stop him, ride the hot hand.
Getting underway here in the second half, here's Will Hardy's 5. The pairing up front, it'll be Collins and Kessler. The guard pair, it's George and Sexton. And it's Sensabaugh in at the small forward position. Now, here's MP. Non-stop scoring machine here. Outside, White. Back to MP. Pass to Herter. Good, and it's MP picking up the assist.
Good instincts from MP. That kind of passing wins the respect of your teammates.
And George kicks to Sexton. Back to George. Lobbed up there for Collins.
Yeah, nice silky finish on the alley-oop from the stupendous feed.
That sequence couldn't have been executed any better. The Bulls leading by 22. Hasn't seemed to match that level of success since that time. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think there's a few reasons, Kevin. Number one, I just think it's a lot about opportunity. And he went from being the number 2 guy on a team to being the 3rd, 4th, even at times 5th guy on the floor. So he's not getting as much opportunity. He doesn't have as much opportunity to play some of his minutes as a center now, and that was always where he could get a quickness advantage. So even where he is now, though, this guy is a very good player and has gotten to the point. He's underrated.
And here's MP for 3. Rebound, Utah.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Pass to Sensabaugh. Kessler with it. Still without a basket. Sexton for 3. Rebound by the Bulls. Giddey's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. There's a screen by Collins. MP passes to Giddey. Back to MP. No good with the triple.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Out to the wing. Pass to Sensabaugh. Kessler's screen on White. Here's Sensabaugh. And he banks in the layup. Sensabaugh's got 13.
Well, credit the screen there, springing him loose for the finish.
And here is MP. Lets it go from 14.
Well, he certainly had trouble finding the mark this quarter.
Pass to Kessler. George with the ball. Fires it up. Offline from the top of the key. The Bulls leading by 19. Collins, a screen on George. Here's MP. It's White on the wing. Can they get it? Good, and the assist goes to MP. MP's got 3 assists now in this one. Jazz have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Collins against MP. Goes back up.
Well, Collins is an exceptional athlete with a lot of skill offensively, but I'd like to see more out of him on the defensive end. I think that could bring his game to another level.
And for the Jazz, the last few seasons, Coach, have been a period of rebuilding.
Yeah, it has, Kevin. You know they acquired a lot of draft capital when they traded Gobert and Mitchell, and they've since drafted a lot of young talent and still have plenty of picks to work with.
A 3 from MP. Kessler with the rebound. Kessler's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
He is really scuffling this quarter offensively. Perhaps a little frustration setting in.
You coach Stan at various levels for 30 years. How has the transition been to the broadcasting business?
Well, Kevin, it's been great because of people like you and because I'm undefeated.
Right. But you miss the aftermath when there's at least a score sheet. There's a scorecard that says win or loss.
I do miss that. There's no question. I miss the competition. I miss the camaraderie of building toward a result. But I've started to get some of that in broadcasting as I've gotten to know my partners better.
Well, it's great being your partner.
Likewise.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
And here's MP for 3. Sexton grabs the board. Sexton's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
And so much for repeating the three-point barrage he put on in the first half. Nothing here in the second.
Here's Sensabaugh. It's good from long range. Sensabaugh's got 17.
Yeah, if Kessler keeps passing the ball like that, he will be dangerous.
MP kicks to White. On the wing, MP. He's guarded by Collins. MP dishes to White. Giddey the pass to MP. And again, no good by Chicago. Here's the Jazz with the ball. They're on a 13-5 run. George against Giddey. Chalk up 2 there. George has got his first bucket in this one.
And nice touch inside. George can finish from all 3 levels.
Giddey kicks to White. And that comes off the assist by Giddey. Giddey's got 5 assists tonight. Outside, Sexton. Here's Sensabaugh. 17 points in the game. Collins and Utah again with the bucket.
Well, Collins is a guy that when he takes over, you're going to have to get 2 or 3 guys on him to try to slow him down.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And Stan, a positive for the Bulls over the last couple seasons. They've really done a good job of taking care of the ball.
Yeah, Kevin, that's been an emphasis for them. You don't want to beat yourself. So you look up and down the roster, it's a pretty disciplined group, but it's also the kind of thing that can change from year to year.
First free throw is good.
And the big question for MP is going to be work ethic. Because if he can put in the sweat, there's no reason he can't be a star in this league.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Buzelis comes in for Kevin Huerter. And Trey Jones subbed in for Josh Giddey. Utah also making some changes. Hendricks is checked in, and it's Clarkson in for George. The Bulls leading by 16. White wide open. He fires. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. White's got 8 points in the quarter.
Laser focus from White. The moment that pass was headed to him, he was ready.
Pass to Sexton. Clarkson is screen on Jones. Jones against Sexton. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance. Picking some changes. MP's checked in for Buzelis. Kevin Huerter comes in for Dosunmu. And Josh Giddey's subbed in for Trey Jones. George passes to Collins. Back to George. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. You know, talking to Keontae George, he credits film watching for much of his success. I like that kind of element he brought up.
Yeah, they say he also spends a lot of time talking to veterans on the team, seeks advice from them and coaches. He's a real student of the game, and that has helped speed up the process for him.
Boy, a guy like that, Coach, has got to be fun to coach.
Yeah, those are the guys you're looking for.
Name a type of shot Keontae George can hit it, more than capable of scoring at all three levels.
The guard set is Giddey and White. MP out there with Kevin Huerter. And it's Collins in at the 5 spot. That's the group on the floor for Chicago. The shot by Sexton, no good.
Wow, missed opportunity from point-blank range. You got to make those.
I mean, a 6'8 playmaker. Giddey is a point forward, and he piles up the assist.
Now George. Pass to Sexton. Shoots over White. And once again, off the mark by Utah.
Yeah, they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Yeah, that's a great find by White. He's such a clever and deceptive combo guard.
And here's George. He'll bring it up for Utah. Outside, Sexton. Here's Sensabaugh. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got 5 assists in the game. Bulls leading by 19 points. Floats it up for MP. And stolen by Sexton. Here's Sensabaugh. They get it back. Shot by Collins, no good. For Chicago, they've gone 7 of 15 from the floor here in the fourth. Right around 46-47%. MP kicks to White. MP with a screen on George. And it's White missing. Jazz trail by 19. Sexton with it. He's picked up by Collins. The 3 from George. And the 3 ball is good. George has got 6 in the quarter.
And developing that 3-ball shot, George is putting in the work now.
Giddey the pass to MP. Outside White. MP sets the screen for White. A 3-pointer is right on target. White's got 11 in the second half. The Jazz shooting in the fourth quarter has looked shabby, 38%. And George gets it to go.
Well, he's playing great tonight, but not quite well enough to carry the entire team. They need to find some other contributors.
On the wing, MP. Collins, a screen on Collins. The 3 from MP. Kessler with the rebound. Kessler's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Pass to Sensabaugh. The shot's good on the assist by George. George has got 6 assists here tonight.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
Giddey the pass to MP. Good, that's another bucket.
And it's 60 points again. Can't believe he's done it now 3 times.
I mean, right, 3 times. He's now tied for the 3rd most 60-point games in a single campaign. Kessler passes to Sexton. And that's a foul called on Zach Collins. That's foul number 2 for him.
And it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
And here's Collins from outside. Chicago grabs the miss. Collins has got 9 rebounds now tonight.
And how about he takes on the defender head on and then throws down the two-hander.
Nice. Straight power there. Straight power. To the middle. Collins looking around. Nice open look, but it's no good.
And even without that 3-ball driving for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Well, Greg, over the last few seasons, one area of consistency for the Jazz has been their rebounding.
Yeah, and they have some size, and they make controlling the boards a focal point. When you're playing Utah, you better be ready to put a body on somebody.
He can't get the first one. Stan, of all the different styles of offense in this NBA, what style is the toughest to defend? Toughest to stop?
Kevin, I don't think there's really any difference in terms of styles or systems in terms of what's tough to stop. It's players. And it's how well a system maximizes their best players. That's what makes teams tough to stop.
Pass to Kessler. Here's Sensabaugh. Kessler trying to get open. Sensabaugh, no good. No one near Herder as he lets it fly. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Jazz will take it.
Jazz ball.
Jazz trail by 20. George dishes to Collins. Pass to Sexton. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen. And the NBA helping establish academies and even leagues, Greg, on foreign soil. Do you expect more to come?
I do, Kevin. I think the league recognizes it has a big role to play in the expansion of the game globally. Investments being made with the long-term view in mind.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Jalen Smith, he's checked in for Zach Collins. Buzelis comes in for Kevin Herter. Osumu, he's checked in for Kobe White. And Trey Jones subbed in for Josh Giddey.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Bulls.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year. Actually, their 5th win on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And one of the key components to this victory, if another one goes, incredible.
And never in the history of the franchise have we seen a game like this. He's putting on a remarkable performance.
It's their all-time single-game scoring record. Their fans will be reliving this game for a long, long time.
And when you talk about absolutely thrilling your fan base, MP has done it. I mean, this has been a game for the ages. We're sitting here marveling at MP, and who knows if this franchise record will ever be broken.
The first free throw is good.
Well, what you love about Jordan Clarkson, it doesn't matter if he's starting or coming off the bench, he provides a real scoring punch.
And both free throws good for Clarkson. There's 25 seconds left in the 4th quarter, and they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
Here's MP. Pass to Jones. For 3. Kessler with the rebound. Now, here's Sexton. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. It was a tale of 2 teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
That's what I'm talking about.
9 MP. See ya, MP.
Play with some toys, and at the end of the day, go inside to the coop again, and it's over.
Hey, you still want to play 2K tonight?
Yeah, you want to grab a burrito?
Yeah, grab me one.
Okay, see you then.
Good game, MP.
Do you think it would be nice?
Yeah, get out in the water. I think it would be insane.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
They talk the talk.
Good night.
I gotta get up early tomorrow to wait in line for some barbecue. No overtime tonight, okay?
hottest team in the land coming through.
to a safe and enjoyable sports experience. We therefore ask you to refrain from any destructive behaviors, such as fighting, throwing objects, using improper language or gestures, injuring the court opponent in play. Spectators engaging in any such behavior are subject to ejection and possible arrest. Please report any violation of these rules to the nearest usher, security, or ring staff member. Thank you. And our next giveaway is what you don't want to miss. It's our Mycareer Start.
Hey everybody, we're coming to you live on 2K Sports, bringing you the NBA. This is Brian Anderson with Clark Kellogg and Grant Hill, and giving us a chance to see the latest edition of the Power Rankings. Always fun to see where everyone in the league stands. You look at the Rockets, They're a rising team climbing to 5th on the board.
When I look at Chicago, they've shown their potential, but we've seen it in flashes. If they want to move up this list, it may take better focus and commitment.
And the starting group for Chicago. Gideon White pair to make the backcourt. Kevin Huerter out there with MP. And it's Collins in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And for the Mavericks, we've got P.J. Washington, Thompson out there with Williams. Then it's Daniel Gafford, and it's Lively in at the center position. Year after year, this early portion of the season is characterized by a great deal of overreaction, Grant.
The media and fans build up a lot of expectations in the offseason. And it's not that bad, but when those expectations aren't met, watch out. Listen, we all just need to settle down and see how things play out. The season is still very young.
And it's Gafford missing. And so MP will bring it up for the Bulls. Huerter, a screen on Thompson. Inside. And there's Huerter. That's good on the assist by MP.
Love that play call by MP, finding a way to create for his team.
Pass to Gafford. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Here's Thompson. The three. And again for three.
And he's hit thousands of threes in the league. Oh, my.
Inching closer to 5th place on the career triples list. Here's MP. The kick out to White. Fires for three. Nails it from 3.
Yeah, good work by MP, noticing when someone else has a superior opportunity to score.
Pass to Lively. And here's Thompson for 3. Thompson with another miss. For Chicago, they've gone 2 of 3 from the floor. From the arc. MP shot is off. Dallas has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Washington drives in, and he banks in the layup.
Boy, fluid, agile penetrator. For a guy his size, he's nimble-footed. And Washington does a good job around the rim.
Outside White. MP outside. The 3. Lively grabs a miss.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
Williams passes to Thompson. And here's Lively. Down low. And a slam dunk by Lively.
Love the dunk from Lively, not just settling for the layup.
Well, the last time the Bulls won a playoff series was back in 2015, Grant.
That was back when Butler and Rose were their leading scorers. And it just shows you just how long it's been. But they've been stuck in mediocrity ever since. And right now, they are desperate for a breakthrough season.
And so it's Williams with it. He brings it up for the Dallas Mavericks. They trail by 1. Gafford with a screen on Giddey. Williams from long range. Unable to get that one.
Boy, I'm absolutely shocked he didn't get that one to go. Usually he's money from deep.
Pass to Huerter. Here's White. MP outside. The 3 ball. Another 3 for Chicago.
At this stage of his young career, MP knocking down jumpers, that is very encouraging.
Giddey against Williams. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. Can't get it to go, making him 0 for 2. Chicago leading by 4. Collins a screen. MP against Gafford. Collins with a screen on Washington. It's stolen by Washington. And it's Williams off the drive. Chicago with a rebound.
That's the shot you hope for. Right at the rim, just couldn't capitalize.
Here's MP. Oh, and the dunk by MP.
And the defense is going to remember this. They might try to make MP pay for it.
For Dallas, they've gone only 3 for 9 from the floor. Pass to Thompson. Shoots over White. Ooh, nothing falling for them right now.
Boy, just not scoring with the efficiency he'd like to. Tough quarter for him.
MP. Clock at 6. Launches it. Williams grabs the board. Mavericks trail by 6. To the inside. Gafford passes to Lively. And a slam dunk by Lively.
Good decision making. Scopes the situation, puts the pass right on the mark.
Chicago has gone 3 of 6 shooting from beyond the arc. Collins finds MP. Collins a screen. And here's MP from outside. Again, MP missing. Dallas has gone 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. Outside, Williams. Pass to Washington. The 3 from Thompson. And it's Giddey with a rebound.
Boy, this is bad. Tough to watch. I mean, this is really bad. He's stone cold this quarter. Man.
MP, a screen on Williams. His first shot coming late, and the jumper falls for him.
Watch out now. When this guy gets into a rhythm, it is something to behold.
Thompson outside. Back to Williams. To the middle. Here's Washington. Pass to Gafford. Now here's Thompson. Let's go with a 3. On target from range. Thompson's got 6 points.
Such a silky, smooth stroke from deep. Thompson, excellent accuracy.
Here's MP. Stolen by Gafford. White against Thompson. Good work defensively by White.
You know, he's been off tonight, off his game. At this point, he might want to focus on creating for others.
From deep, MP. And the three-pointer goes. He's got 11.
Monster quarter for him. He's put the team on his back, trying to carry them to the W.
Pass to Gafford. To the paint. Washington inside. Herder defending. The 3 from Thompson. And Dallas hits again from deep.
I really believe we can go ahead now and lock Klay Thompson in on the short list of the greatest pull-up shooters in the NBA. And we might be talking the all-time list here.
On the wing, MP. He's guarded by Gafford. Back to MP. Fires the 3. The Mavericks pull it in. Fresh off a win against the Pacers.
Yeah, they hit the court last game with some serious attitude, especially on offense.
And, you know, confidence is key there. They seem to play with a ton of it, especially on the offensive end.
And it's in there. And now just a 1-point Chicago lead.
And they may have talked about shot selection coming into this.
MP with it. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him.
Yeah, terrific take by MP. He's just punishing them on the drive.
And so it's Williams with it. He brings it up for the Mavs. Washington outside. To the inside. Here's Gafford. And the dunk by Gafford.
And this guy, to me, embodies determination. Small at his position, but he still gets up and keeps plays alive. That's mind over matter for sure.
Dallas has gone 3 of 6 shooting from beyond the arc. Lively with a screen on Giddey. Washington passes to Lively. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. The Bulls have got 8 of 15 shots to go. Here's MP. And the bucket counts. And he is on his way to the line. He'll try to make it a 3-point play. And let's take a moment here to get your take, guys, on the scoring so far for Chicago.
You know, right from the start, it seemed they got hot from three-point range, pulling apart the defense and racking up the points, too.
You have to like the fact that they're not settling at all. I mean, they've really made a point to get the ball down inside and challenge that interior defense.
Free throw good. MP All right, we've now got our 2K insider, Shams Charania, on the line. He's got a special report. Shams, it's all yours.
Thanks, guys. Well, after their three-point shooting abandoned them in the finals, the Mavericks have addressed that shortcoming in a major way, acquiring one of the Splash Brothers, Klay Thompson. Klay is eager for a fresh start and an opportunity, I'm told, to add another ring to his championship resume. This should be a match made in heaven.
Without a doubt. Shams Charania with the report. Thanks, Shams. White on the wing. Beyond the arc. It's not going to go for him.
Given his range, you'd expect him to capitalize on that opening.
Dinwiddie, no good. Bulls leading by 4. Pass to White. And here's MP from outside. It's down. His 7th make in 13 attempts today.
Boy, he's really been on a roll this quarter. Seems like everything he throws up is finding bottom.
All right, let's check in with Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian, the Mavericks are looking to contend. Coach Jason Kidd said, we're trying to build a championship team, and it's not easy. Dallas has not talked about that for a long time. So to talk about that, it's pretty cool. To be able to build it takes time. We have the personnel. We have the team. Brian, that's confidence.
Yep, and they're in win-now mode, Allie. Thank you. Right wing. Back to Exum. Martin with a screen on White. 6 to shoot. Martin, the pass to Washington. With some arc. Jacks up a 3. Martin misses. Chicago leading. MP outside. Smith with a screen on Dinwiddie. And here's MP from outside. And the rebound goes to Dallas. Dinwiddie outside. The 3 is up. Smith with the rebound. Bulls leading by 7. MP outside. Back to Jones. Pass to White. MP looking around. White, the pass to MP. The Bulls need to get off a shot. White can't hit. 7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Oh, got a piece of it. Stolen by Jones. Finished off the break.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
Jones against Dinwiddie. Harden a screen. Here's the 3. He's off on that one. And so it's Chicago. They have a nice 9-point cushion at the end of the quarter. A big difference in shooting percentages. That's why. Comes in for Gafford, and it's Klay Thompson in for Christie, and a new group getting ready for Chicago. Chicago leading by 8. Caleb Martin out there with Derek Lively. Then there's Dante Exum. Then there's Spencer Dinwiddie, and it's Thompson in a 2-guard. That's the lineup in the game for Dallas.
Boy, that's a big-time make by MP. Drew the foul and stayed focused on the hoop.
Chicago shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
You know, success at the line just became contagious for him. A few guys got on a roll, and it carried over to the rest of the team.
And it feels like everyone turns over half their roster every year, Clark. How hard is that for teams?
Very hard. I mean, continuity is a foundational pillar point to being successful in anything. There's a reason why Steph, Klay, and Draymond won so much in Golden State. Knowing your teammates and their tendencies is vital if you're going to be a championship contending team. I think teams and organizations benefit when they stay together for longer periods of time.
From deep, Giddey. He's in his comfort zone. 2 for 2 to start this one.
Like, sometimes the threes can really boost your confidence, and I'm sure it'll do just that for Giddey.
Pass to Lively. Thompson against Herder. Back to Lively. Dinwiddie outside. Shot clock at 6. Martin with the bucket.
And the defense has no answer for him here in the second quarter. He is torching them from outside.
Here's MP. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up. Klay Thompson picks one up.
One of those guys who came into the league with great expectations. MP has met those and then some.
A different look for Dallas. Washington's checked in for Martin, and Williams is subbed in for Dinwiddie. Washington outside. Back to Williams. On the wing, Thompson takes the 3. The offensive rebound. The kick out to Williams. Lets it go from deep.
First personal foul. 15 foul.
Here are the Bulls with the ball. They're on a 13-5 run. Here's MP. MP, the flush.
MP's been the catalyst for them tonight. Solid leadership from this young man.
Mavericks trail by 13. Exum outside. Washington outside. Pass to Lively. Outside, Williams. No good with the triple.
You know, defensively, you just can't afford to give him that much room. They're fortunate that he missed that one.
Left side, Giddey. It's stolen by Washington. On the break. Here's Thompson. And that one hits the back iron. White finds MP. Lively grabs a miss. Lively's got 5 rebounds tonight. On the wing, Thompson. He's guarded by White. Thompson passes to Williams. Washington a screen. Williams, that's good.
Defensively, got to close out a little faster. That's a look he'll make with regularity.
Collins with a screen on Washington. MP, the pass to White. All alone. Lively grabs the miss. Lively's got 6 rebounds in the game. The 3 from Thompson. Rebound by the Bulls. 13 points was their biggest lead of the game.
In the first quarter, he was killing them from outside. But he can't get it going here. You know, he hasn't contributed well scoring the ball, but obviously his teammates have.
Grant, how about Kobe White? Going from a bench player to one of the league leaders in minutes.
Yeah, Kobe played more than 35 minutes per game last season. Top 10 in the league. We saw White hit another level, so he has an exciting future in front of him. Gotta fight harder to get over those screens.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
And the basket by MP.
Boy, he's been a rock of offensive support so far, and when they've needed a basket, they've turned to him.
And we've got a timeout from Jason Kidd. He's going to gather the troops and talk it over. Gafford, he's checked in for Exum. And a change for the Bulls. Jones, he's checked in for Giddey. Williams passes to Lively. And Williams gets the bucket on the assist by Lively. Williams has got 5 now. Bulls leading by 8. Here's MP. Power move from MP.
And guys, the way this defense is getting manhandled down low, you have to wonder if they're at 100% right now.
Outside, Williams. Pass to Lively. Here's Washington. Williams on the wing. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Misses the layup. Chicago has gone 2 of 6 from distance here in the second quarter. With contact, MP for 2.
They're not messing around. 5 of their last 6 buckets have come from the interior.
Washington outside. Back to Williams.
More success with the three-point shot here in the second quarter as they try to cut into this lead.
Gafford against MP. There's the drive. Oh, and the dunk by MP.
MP knew exactly where he wanted to go and what he wanted to do with that one.
Pass to Gafford. Back to Williams. Gafford with a screen on Jones. Williams from long range. Chicago with a rebound. MP's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Puts up a deep 3. Williams grabs the board.
After scoring with ease in the first quarter, he's really cooled down a bunch here.
For 3. It's hauled in by the Bulls.
You know, he's just not taking good shots, not taking smart shots, forcing up a lot of low percentage jump there.
I think he's gone completely dry. Nothing is hitting.
And, you know, you can sense his frustration. This is going to be a test of his resolve here.
From behind the arc. Rebound by the Bulls. MP's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Collins with a screen on Williams. Here's MP. Down low, MP drops it in.
You're not going to get stops against him unless you give an effort.
Priority and goal number 1 has to be tightening up the defense. They can't afford to give him open looks.
And so it's MP making things happen for Chicago. He's nearing the 40-point mark, just getting whatever shot he wants. Back to the game after this break.
Welcome, everybody. Let's jump right in with a look at the players of the week. Look, I know this is going off topic, but during the first half, we were doing some dribbling drills. So, Kenny, as the point guard here, I want you to rank our handles.
Okay, obviously, first is me. Second, I'll get that to you, Ernie. Third, I'll go with our IT guy. He really surprised me. Then you, Shaq.
There's no way I'm after Ernie.
Shaq, if you want to be better, you can be.
Let us take some time now to talk about the first half. A commanding performance for the Bulls.
Hey, these guys are a bunch of artists, man. You know why? They live for the paint.
Oh, that joke was weak, but their play style is Diesel approved.
I wouldn't say the joke was weak. It just needed a capper. Appreciate you joining us. It's been our distinct pleasure, and I mean that. Let's now take you back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly in the second. Hey, you look at MP in this game, he's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's showing off how skilled he is at attacking the defense and converting at the line.
Well, you know, in that first half, it was a common occurrence. He got to the stripe time and time again.
Mavericks trail by 13. Second half underway. Here's who Billy Donovan's got on the floor. Gideon White pair to make the backcourt. MP is out there with Kevin Huerter. And it's Collins in at the center position. Back to Washington. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him coming up.
A dependable stretch for Washington is also somebody who continues to look to improve every year in the league.
You know, when you think about how the Mavs play defense, so much depends on how they defend the point of attack. They've got great rim protection and rotations, but if they aren't stopping penetration, it's tough. First one falls. So hits one and misses one at the line.
They've had a slight leg up on the boards and a big leg up on the scoreboard.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
Williams finds Lively. Fires the three. And Williams gets the bucket on the assist by Thompson. Williams has got his third basket on the night right there. Outside Giddey to the middle. Herder gets the bucket.
Very little resistance around the rim right now. That's the 5th straight bucket they've given up in the paint.
Those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
On the wing, Thompson. He's guarded by White. Here's Gafford. And the dunk by Gafford.
Nice read by Thompson right there, showing he's more than just a shooter with plays like this.
And here's MP. Give him 39. Oh, and the dunk by MP.
His arrow's been trending up as of late, and he's been magnificent tonight.
I wasn't quite sure if he'd be able to maintain that same level of play. I had my doubts coming into this game. Consider my doubts disappeared.
See what the world Williams has got the ball here for the Mavs. It's a 13-point game. Pass to Thompson from outside the arc. And it's MP with a rebound. MP's got 9 rebounds in the game. Boy, he's getting it done. And we're just about 2 minutes into the final half of play now. No luck on that one. Excellent D there from Lively.
Even with that miss, they're shooting 75% coming out of the break. That's a strong start to the half.
Looking to end this cold spell. And it's MP with a rebound. MP's got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. Washington against White. MP outside. Drops in the 3. MP's got 44.
They're on fire right now, shooting 80% to start the second half.
Thompson outside. That doesn't go either for Thompson.
Yeah, that's another miss for him. They're behind in this game largely because he shot so poorly.
MP with it. Guarded now by Williams. And the basket by MP. MP's got 46.
They're looking good, really good right now because of him. He sees this game by the throat, and he's squeezing hard.
BA, the one-hand dunk just looks so fluid.
Yeah, absolutely. Even smooth when he's powering it home like that.
Part of what makes him unique, guys, that combination of power and power.
Herder passes to MP. Herder, a screen on Gafford. MP. Ooh, Washington with the defensive effort. Mavericks trail by 16. Boy, they'd love if anyone could get a bucket.
Yeah, their offense has been grinding to a halt.
Williams from long range. Sinks it from distance. Williams has got 11.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Down low. Oh, a great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and a nasty jam.
Yeah, great find by Giddey, a tall guard who sees the floor so well.
Thompson passes to Lively. Inside. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Give him 8.
You make your teammates better by giving them good passes. That one was perfect.
MP outside. 3-pointer. Buries it from 3. MP's got 49 in the game.
Stop it. An incredible move to shake his man. Getting the defender on his heels, doing the rest with ease.
And from the sideline, let's catch up with Allie.
Hey, Brian. Well, in today's high-scoring NBA, every position has to be a threat. All-star Donovan Mitchell said, we're getting away from the point guards who are just floor generals. It's passing and scoring that you're starting to see. And your level of scoring allows you to be a better playmaker. Teams have to respect that.
No doubt, Allie. Thank you.
Oh, a wise move by MP. Calling his own numbers in the two-man game.
To the wing on the left. Washington outside. Williams from long range. The rebound by MP.
Surprising to see him miss here, but they'll be happy with that shot in most possessions.
Herder. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Trying to make up ground here.
And with plenty of time left, you want to play with urgency, but not desperation.
White against Thompson. Williams with the screen. To the paint. He can't get it to go. Giddey with a defensive effort. Bulls leading by 16. Tries the spin move. Pass to White. Back to MP. And Daniel Gafford picks up the foul. That's his third foul so far. And the NBA has regular season games outside the U.S. all over the world. How important is that, Grant?
It's so important, BA. I mean, basketball has become a global sport. And just look at the recent MVPs.
Shotgun like the barrel. Child. Your girl is fair, mine is sparrow. Child. I can't take off work, but I can take off.
Making a switch here. MP's checked in. They've got Daniel Gafford. Williams is out there with Thompson. Then it's Washington, and it's Lively in at the power forward position. That's the lineup out there for the Thompson. That's good.
He's really picked up where he left off in the first.
Here's White. On the wing, MP. Covered by Lively. Another one falls. Amazing. Oh, he's been absolutely ridiculous in this game.
BA, it feels like he can't miss.
Here's Williams. Grant, with this new media deal, more broadcasters for the NBA.
You're right, BA, and the league benefits economically. Hopefully, more innovation on the broadcast side, too, and a chance to even reach new fans as well.
Oh, I like how quickly he threw the bounce pass there. Hard to defend against that.
Threes to go here in the fourth. Pass to Lively. Here's Thompson. He's guarded by White. Here's Lively. Three-pointer, no good.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
He's their go-to. They keep calling his number, and he delivers.
Lively. Washington with the ball. There's the three. Offensive rebound.
I love the relentless attitude he showed there. Got himself in great position under the glass.
He had the presence of mind to know exactly where the rebound was going.
And then the nifty touch to tip it in as well.
For Dallas, they've gotten 8 of 16 attempted shots to go here in the fourth. Chicago grabs the miss. Giddey's got 11 rebounds in the game. Blocked.
Nice D by Lively there. He can block shots both at the rim and out away from the basket.
As usual, terrific effort from him. Unwilling to let the possession go to waste.
Williams against Giddey. Pass to Thompson. The three is up. Sinks the tray.
He made 3 triples in the first half, 3 more since then. I tell you what, you can't shake your head at that.
Here's MP. Tipped. Now Williams. Out of bounds. It'll go to the Bulls. And a new group getting ready for Chicago. Smith, he's checked in for Collins. Buzelis comes in for Herder. Dosunmu, he's checked in for White. And it's Trey Jones in for Giddey. Dosunmu outside. Well, Clark, we're used to seeing a coaching carousel, but in recent years, even winning teams have changed coaches.
Well, you know, that is true, and at least the profession is getting a pay raise overall. But for teams looking to break through, VA, changing the coach still seems to be the default button that most teams like and are more comfortable pushing.
Lively with it. Pass to Williams. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
The way they've been able to consistently get past the defense and to the cup has been most impressive. They've almost made it look pedestrian.
Yeah, another thing they did well was feed the ball into the paint. They really utilized their size there tonight.
The free throw drops for Williams. So he gets them both. Now here's MP. Pass to Buzelis. DeSumo outside. Just 5 on the clock.
In the NFL, what's it like as a
A deep 3. Washington grabs the miss. Washington's got rebound number 8 here already in the game. And here's Thompson. Lively finds Williams. Here's Gafford. And give him another one. He's 6 of 8 and looking solid.
Coaches love to see ball movement, especially when it gets you that kind of look.
Bulls leading by 20.
It's something where he is doing something absurd, right?
Jones feels it out. And another one.
Another stunning accomplishment in his career. He's now tied for 4th most 60-point games in league history.
He's one of the most exciting offensive players the NBA has ever seen. I don't think you can make an argument against that. That's to Lively. Now here's Washington. Washington, a screen on Jones. Here's Williams. Basket counts. Williams has got 4 points in the quarter.
It's safe to say they have dominated this game. The game wasn't even as close as the score says in a great win for the Bulls.
Loved how much they moved the ball out there tonight.
Yes, no one got left out. This was a real team effort.
And with this win, they've tallied up a total of 6 wins on the year.
And with this one all but in the record books, they set the tone in the first of what will be only 2 meetings between these teams.
It sure is. It's just a 2-gamer since they're in opposite conferences, and you can bet they'll take the same approach right into game 2 they had tonight.
And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for MP.
And, you know, there was no stopping him tonight. Whenever he got the ball, he was looking to score, and rightly so.
They really came in with the right mindset today. I can guarantee you their flight home will be filled with some smiles.
Yep, to have a stress-free win on the road, very satisfying. The fans are already headed for the exit.
Thompson, no good. Pass to Buzelis. Now Jones.
There's reports coming out of the Houston Texans games.
MP outside.
Crowd has been limited.
And it's all from 3-point range.
Coach Nico Ryan's actually interested and said there's some soreness.
And here's Williams.
Precaution. Yeah, if you can lower the Nico Ryan, there's
no problem for Chicago. They get the win. A statement road victory. So impressive.
Statement in the NBA. It wasn't enemy territory. They controlled the game and took the crowd completely out of it. That's how you win on the road.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Grant Hill, Clark Kellogg, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson, thanking you for watching. So long, everyone.
I don't think you would be doing all that. This soreness is interesting with the time of year that it is. It's June.
Yeah.
Was this too hard of workouts? Is this an injury that's lingering from last year that he didn't know was as serious, like the Derek Carr situation that happened just a few months ago down in New Orleans? What are your thoughts on this, Steve?
Hopefully, it's a big nothing burger here in early June.
I hope.
Because we were conversing before the show, me and AJ, specifically talking about the quarterback that kind of been around, and you were around Peyton. And one thing we know about franchise quarterbacks, they like to get all their reps, regardless of
when it is mini camp, OTAs, training camp, they like to get those reps if they're in the building, which most of them are. So it's concerning me. Early June, it's a young quarterback. Definitely too early to be taking G days. So definitely concerning, but hopefully once we get into the season, once again, he's a phenomenal talent. So hopefully we see him taking every snap next season. It's a big nothing burger once we get to the big day.
Yeah, Jim can be. It definitely most likely is nothing you would think at the time of year. It's scary. Going to university quarterback, maybe not throw as much. Maybe all Jim would come out and say, okay, he's including something on the team today, but just individual. Is if, say, you had 3 straight days of practices and he threw a bunch of balls, you have a certain limit. But a young guy in June not throwing, I'd be worried a little bit.
Especially because we've heard nothing about any of it. I'll tell you, remember I saw Andrew Luck throwing at the beginning of that one training camp? Yeah. It was like, holy nuts, right? He can't throw a football. Shit, that's not a guy. That's not an NFL quarterback right there. Those are some sluggers that are happening right there. That's whenever, like, everybody kind of found out about the routine. I wonder how the Houston Texans are with this soreness. Have they known? Have they expected this? Has CJ expected this? Is it something he's been dealing with? We hope not. Good luck, CJ. Like, Parsons, it's 3 top many games. Selma Theater, I never missed one. Yeah, so what? Good in my 4th year. Never missed one of these. Okay, buddy. Oh, mandatory, I'll be there. I haven't missed a mini camp in 4 years. Even though the contract is not done, I have teammates and a playbook. I'm preparing as if I will be on the field the first week of camp. It's in the owner's hands. I'm ready to win a Super Bowl. Sounds like they're in the middle of negotiating. Sounds like Michael Parsons knows what the right thing is, which is to be around his teammates, to set an example of being there for a mandatory minicamp, knowing that he's going to be a staple or a pillar of the Dallas Cowboys for a long time. It's good for the rookies, it's good for the entire team to see one of their guys present at a mandatory minicamp as opposed to any drama or missing. Maybe some guy might want to ask about his routine. Maybe you want to just get used to kind of how everything is under shoddy in the building. There's a lot of upside. The downside is there's leverage in negotiations, is what people say. Because if you hold out, you take a stand, you're really not happy about what's going on. And everything slows anything down. Jerry Jones has been very open about paying him. It's in the owner's hands, says Micah. He assumes it's going to get done.
Jerry's very attractive. Micah is a foundational piece of franchise. Dude, a guy that moves and runs and rushes the passer like not really anyone else on the planet can do. So, yeah, I think Jerry's going to play him when that might be. I remember when Zeke and Luda can't give us a pop up working on the thing. They were saying, man, it's a gigantic deal. I don't know if Micah's going to do that, but Jerry would be able to see him. Yes. Last year,
It's not Jerry, this is business, but to your point, he is paying these guys, and they do a great job. I've seen the draft, some of these guys in the pre-draft process paying me at the point, so he will be the guy. Myles Garrett, I've seen he set that gap between him and Dale Hunter and Crosby. So I think Parsons will be very close to Myles Garrett when he actually does get paid, because he is a guy who is a pillar. When you build your defense around a top 3 pass rusher since pretty much the day he stepped into the NFL.
Yeah, it's going to get done. I mean, Jerry has in the recent past, he's waited until almost right before the season to pay these guys. If you're a Cowboys fan, you know, like, they're all that like Parsons going for each game. I mean, he's their defense right now. And Jerry recognizes that, so we'll see. Maybe more than one. It's going friendly, but it's in the Cowboys. If they're, big time stars, but let's see, they just likes this. That's what we're talking about. I think he's waits all this time because he likes hearing people talk about the film.
Well, with that being said, you bring it up that Jerry drafted him. It's like, yeah, there's a 100% chance he gets paid. He knows that. He's just going to go to mandatory minicamp. We know this is going to get done. Michael Parsons is going to be on prime time 13 times a year for the next 10 years if it's him. And that's Jerry Jones football there. Exactly. That's how it goes. Let's talk about maybe some Pittsburgh Steelers football. Happy birthday, bud. Happy birthday, Jay. Connor. Thanks. Ty. Nico Dixon. Connor Smith. Trade conversations with the Pittsburgh Steelers has happened and started up back again. Eventually, says Adam Schefter, back in the Steelers. Renewed conversations today with Dolphins tight end Jonnu Smith, who is seeking a new contract. The trade between the Steelers and Dolphins is still alive. So in person, for Adam Schefter then. Todd, I haven't heard you be as excited as I think you should be for John Smith, a caliber player coming to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's just exciting because yesterday morning, Schefter said, "Listen, those things, the talks have died. It's not going to happen." Yesterday afternoon, the talks are back on. I think I'd be more excited if I thought it was real. There's a lot of talks in Pittsburgh through the Pittsburgh media now that this Drew Roosevelt's trying to kick up some interest so that the Dolphins will pay John Smith because he deserves it. He's an incredible player. John Smith to be a Steeler? Yes. Do I think it's going to happen? No, they just paid Pat Fryermuth. The renewal option. They gave him 15 pounds down. They said he looks amazing. Now, yesterday, their third tight end, Donald Parham, did tear his Achilles. So, bad news. Schefter's news kind of aligned with that. So, there may have been some legitimacy there. It just doesn't make sense for either team. You've got the Dolphins guy who was their best player last year, and then the Steelers who already paid a tight end, have two tight ends. Now I know that Brady loves tight ends, but it just doesn't feel real, so I'm not excited.
Okay, so you think it's a business play by Rosenhaus who was time to pay you? Dollars in negotiations over the past.
Yeah, it feels
I think there's a chance, but Schefter's reporting it twice now.
Yes,
so Schefter's not just putting out fakes. I mean, Schefter has to be legit.
Correct.
So maybe there is a little bit of a dab on the conversation if the Dolphins aren't able to get it done. John would like to get out of here. Maybe the Steelers are saying, hey, is there actual availability here? We'll see if the Dolphins make a play. The Dolphins pay everybody. Don't they, Dolphins? The Dolphins pay everybody?
We like to pay incumbents that actually don't play for us either, so we'll take our best player. It's just
no, nobody said you guys are doing it. It's no way. Pumping Sneaky Fox 97 and La Mexicana Express playing right here behind us. Being found. Stuck into the pocket.
He's good. I saw that guy shoot him both legs with a shotgun. Boy, he pulled the yellow. He pulled the yellow. Is it Mycareer in this tournament?
I think you're allowed to get 14.
You guys look at this. Cover your dog. Here's good news.
We could get a reflection off of our face full of dogs here. Probably missing a half.
Oh, fake. Oh.
That's Sneaky Fox 97. Obviously, they drew up the set piece there. Square the ball, no distraction. Pass it down to the goal line. Pass it across. Everybody whips. Clean up. Oh,
cheeky touch.
It's easy read like that.
This early in the tournament.
Sneaky Fox takes that.
It's a ball game, so we really
you know they're playing.
On the set piece, they're
well, it doesn't matter if you know the plays. You got to execute. That's what they say in football. Different people knows everybody's plays. You talk about things that don't make sense, like Johnny Smith maybe get traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though, hey, it would be cool if it happened.
Great.
How about a punter? Squat number 700 pounds. There's conversations about punters lifting and they'll be doing bench and they'll be like, what do we need your arms? They do it like you said, upper body, and they're like, well, this will be able to kick a ball. Squatting, I think, is a good thing to be able to be great at if you're a punter or a kicker. And he can have the Los Angeles Rams squat over 700 pounds in OTAs, 705. His Instagram is just a series of posts showcasing him in a weight room. You're talking about a gym rat that happens to be a punter who had 5% of his punts inside the 20 last year. I think it was the highest, one of the highest in the NFL. We're talking about an absolute beast on the field of punting. And an absolute warrior in the weight room, AJ. 705-pound squat. Not with one of them soft bars either. He's putting that thing on his spine, taking it down to the ground and bringing it back up to the lower.
I mean, yes, take it to the lower right. That was paying close attention to make sure he doesn't have that one well pad. Which, if you want to, that's okay. I understand everybody's built differently, different situations. But for a punter, for any player to do this is unbelievable. And for a punter,
I don't think you're like a lot of people do 700 pounds in the NFL. That's what a lot of people don't talk about. Like college, I was very lucky to have Coach Mike Barr, which is a straight finish at West Virginia University. He is a beast. He put on protein, you put on the diet, you put on a workout plan, you put on a schedule, you put on a vision basically of what your body can be, and then you go in there and you get your ass kicked in these gyms. It's the worst workouts, the hardest workouts of all time.
Keep it up, MP. Keep chopping wood.